Hi guys, welcome back. So remember last month when I told you that in the future my book hauls would probably be smaller? Yeah, that didn't actually happen at all. So I have a book haul to share with you guys today, and I think I've got 39 books to share with you. I did not purchase all of these. I have 3 books that were sent to me by the publisher, 4 books that I got from friends, and 2 other books that I got for free. So there you go. Some of these I bought for my kids, so kind of for my kids in a couple years when they can read these things. But without further ado, let's get into this. Okay, so first let's talk about the books that I received from publishers. 2 of these were from giveaways I won, I think. Well, one of them I'm sure was a giveaway. The other one I'm assuming was a giveaway, but you know, who knows. The first one, you guys, this is stunning, and I really need to read it soon. It's so pretty. This is an arc of the Queens of Innis Lear. And you guys, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Look at this. This is by Tessa Gratton, and it is coming out soon. When is this coming out? Okay, so March or May. I don't know which is which. I'm assuming sometime later in March this is coming out here. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this. It's like, I think it's like a retelling of King Lear, and I've heard some really good things about it. It's like a giant fantasy novel, which you know is totally my jam, so I'm excited to get into that one. And then the other one is one that you may have heard me talk about if you watched my wrap-up, because I did actually read this in the month of February. It is People Like Us by Dana Melly, and you guys, this book is so good. This is a YA psychological thriller that's like Mean Girls meets psychological murder mystery, so this is fantastic. I loved it. And then the final book that was sent to me was from Harlequin Romance, and that is Hot Mess by Emily Belden. And this book is coming out March 20th, I believe. And it is some kind of a romance novel that involves food and foodies and culinary things, so that should be fun to check out. Next up, let's talk about the books that were sent to me from friends. The wonderful Lauren over at the Novel Lush was kind enough to send me 3 of the books in the Mercy Thompson series by Patricia Briggs, and I actually just got book 1 out from the library, so I'm going to be reading that. And then she sent me the next 3, so Bloodbound, Iron Kissed, and Bonecrossed. I've heard really good things about these. Despite the covers, I've heard that they're just like really good like paranormal urban fantasy, and she raves about these, so I'm really excited to give those a try sometime soon. And then I have another book that I got from a friend who came to our New York City BookTube Bookstagram meetup. A couple of us brought books to share that we didn't need anymore, and so I grabbed this one. It's called What Angels Fear by C.S. Harris, and first of all, the cover is really cool looking. It's like a mystery novel set in 1800s England, so this just kind of seemed like it might be interesting and up my alley, so I got that. And then I've got a couple of books that I was really excited I found for free. One of them was actually, people sometimes in my building will leave books that they're done with, so I found a paperback copy of 1984 by George Orwell. I do not own a copy of this. I've read it before and really liked it, and yeah, so it's not the most amazing version, but hey, it was free, and now I have it on my shelves, which is cool. The other one I actually got at my library for free. It is an arc of The Wicked Deep by Shea Earnshaw. Again, I've been seeing this. It looks really cool. I'm excited to have it. This comes out in March, so this month as well. And I think it's about like sisters who are witches, and I don't know, I've heard good things, so I'll have to check that one out. Then I have some books that I purchased that I've already read or that are sort of replacing other copies of things. So the first one actually I found at a book sale, and it is a beautiful copy of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I love this. It's a hardcover, and it's even prettier underneath. Like, it's really beautiful. I think I got this on sale for like $4, and I had really been wanting a nicer copy of Pride and Prejudice. I do really like it, and this is my old copy, which I really hate. I think I got it for free years ago, and I've been wanting something nicer. So this is going away, and I now have this to replace it, so I'm really happy about that. The other replacement I have is a hardcover copy of A Torch Against the Night by Sabatier. I know I haven't started this series yet, but I really want to, and I think I'm gonna love it. I found this at the Strand for $2, so I went ahead and picked it up because prior to that I had the ARC version, so I will now have the finished hardcover, and this is going to go into a future giveaway. I am collecting some things for when I hit 1,000 subscribers, which, you know, we're only a couple hundred off, so exciting times. times. Then this was one of my favorite books that I read in 2017, but I didn't want to pay full price for it, so I've been kind of keeping a lookout at the Strand for a copy that was a little bit cheaper, and I finally found it for $9. It is Forest of a Thousand Lanterns by Julie C. Dow. You guys, I love this book so much. It was in my top 5 from last year, and it's so pretty. Like, look at that. It's part of a duology, and the next book is coming out this fall. I'm so excited about it. I need to pre-order it, honestly, but this is a debut novel, and if you haven't read it, you really should. It's so good. It's like a retelling of Snow White, but from the Evil Queen's perspective. It's like her backstory set in ancient China. It's amazing. I'm really excited about it. And then I think the other book in the duology is going to be from the sort of Snow White character's perspective during the events of the story that we actually know. This is the backstory of the Evil Queen, and then that one will be the retelling of the typical sort of Snow White story. So I'm really excited about it. Yeah, so I finally found that one for less than full price. I've been waiting for it. So when I saw it, I had to snap it up. And then I was at the Strand and I saw these books that I loved when I was a teenager. This was one of my favorite fantasy series, and I found the first 2 books in it, so I figured they were $1 each, so I just wanted to have them in my collection. And this is a series by Tanith Lee called The Clady Journals. Book 1 is Wolf Tower, and book 2 is Wolf Star. So yeah, these are just really cool. I remember loving them. I think there's 3 or 4 books in the series. Maybe it's just 3. Trilogy, so I'd like to find book 3 at some point, but I was really excited to see those, so I picked those up too. While we're on the subject of books that I read when I was a kid, I actually just bought these yesterday, and I mostly got these for my kids. I mean, I wanted to have them too, but like when they're a little bit older, I think it'd be cool to have in our collection. I was at Barnes & Noble with my kids, and I saw this beautiful box set of the Wrinkle in Time Quintet. So this is all 5 books in the series. I think a lot of people haven't read these, but they're by Madeline L'Engle. Wrinkle in Time just came out in theaters. I'm excited to see it. I love Madeline L'Engle. I went through a big phase reading a lot of her books when I was a teenager, and yeah, loved her. I know they're kind of strange books, but I really like them. So this includes Wrinkle in Time, A Wind in the Door, A Swiftly Tilting Planet, Many Waters, and An Acceptable Time. And so I wanted to really have these in our collection and add them to my sort of middle grade-ish bookshelf that I'm collecting books for my kids as they get a little bit older. I had some coupons and a discount thing, so I only ended up paying like $22 for the whole set, which I thought was a pretty good deal. I also found copies of the series that I haven't read but I've always wanted to, and they're just so pretty I couldn't resist them. I found hardcover copies of books 4 and 5 in the Spiderwick Chronicles by Holly Black and Tony DiTerlizzi. I've heard really good things about these. I've never actually read them, but you guys, the art on these is stunning. They're these adorable little books. They've got deckled edges and artwork. They're so cute, and I found them at the Strand for $2 each, so I just like couldn't resist, so I grabbed those. And then I had one pre-order that came in this month, and you guys know I can't stop talking about it, and I'm so happy it's here. It's my Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I finally have a finished copy. It is stunning. I have to say, cameras and videos do not do this cover justice. It's like shiny and beautiful. I mean, it looks pretty on camera, but in person it's even more gorgeous. I'm really happy to have this. I was so bummed because I was supposed to go to a signing and there was a snowstorm and I got canceled. It's so sad, so it's not signed. But hopefully she'll do another event here in the future. I would love to meet her. And I just want to show you guys, because this book is gorgeous. This is the Barnes & Noble Special Edition. It is red and beautiful. Oh my goodness, I love it. It has this really pretty map on the inside, and then for the special edition, it's got a couple of kind of cool extras. One is it's got an annotated chapter at the back, and then it also has this really cool poster, which I've not taken out all the way yet, but I sort of undid part of it. So on one side it has this map of the capital city in this world, and then on the other side, if you can see, it's got a list of all of the Maji clans in the book. So yeah, anyway, really cool. I love this edition and I'm very, very happy to be adding it to my collection. I am planning to do a reread a little bit later in the year, so I'm excited to actually read the finished copy. I've got a few books that I purchased for signings. One of them is Tiny Pretty Things by Sonia Cherapotra and Danielle Clayton. I actually also got this because it was on Amazon for like $4, and this is like a YA contemporary about drama at a elite ballet school in Manhattan, and it sounds really fun. I love Danielle Clayton. She wrote The Bells, which I'm a fan of, and then when I went to the Bells signing, I actually met her co-author Sonia as well, and so I got it signed by both of them, which was lovely. Then there's a signing that I'm actually going to tomorrow. It will be over by the time you see this video because it's not going to go up for a while, but it is The Midnights by Sarah Nicole Smetana, and this is a debut YA contemporary novel. I actually just finished reading it, so I will talk about this more in my wrap-up, but I really liked it. I thought it was really well done. It's about grief and music and finding yourself, and it's set in Southern California, which I love. If you guys don't know, I lived in Southern California for a lot of years, and this is great. It's obvious that the author lived there as well because it's written in a way that, like, it's not stereotypical Hollywood glitzy glam or whatever. It's written, like, in a more sort of raw, vivid way, like somebody who actually lived there would write it. So anyway, I was a big fan. I enjoyed this, and I'll talk more about it in my wrap-up. And then the other book that I picked up I found for $5.50, and I'm going to be going to a signing for the New York Teen Book Festival, and I just really like this person. I follow her on social media, but it's Monument 14 by Emmy Laybourne, and she also wrote Berserker, which she was kind enough to send me an signed ARC copy of, and I still haven't read it, you guys. I need to read it. I'm like really bad about this. In fact, I think next month that might be one of the things I do, is try to like actually read some of the things that I've won from authors and giveaways. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, but this just sounded really interesting. It's like a dystopian sort of book, and it sounds kind of cool, and I found it for $5.50 at the Strand, so I picked that one up for the signing. Then I had been wanting to complete my collection of the Red Rising series, and again, this is another one where I had been on a waiting list waiting for a copy that was used and not as expensive because I didn't want to pay $24 for it. So finally the Strand got in a used copy that was only $12.50, so I snapped it up. It is Morning Star by Pierce Brown, so I now have this in my collection. The only other thing I still need at some point is a hardcover copy of Red Rising. I have it in that like special this like special paperback edition. I do eventually want to have a hardcover, but since I've read it already, it's not like a necessity. But I now have Morning Star, and what's really cool is it's signed, which is awesome. So I picked that up, and I'm adding that to my collection. I still need to finish the series, but based on Red Rising, I'm sure I'm gonna love it. And then if you guys have seen my review of The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, this should come as no surprise that I clearly needed to also have Wise Man's Fear. Oh, and you know what, I don't even have it with me, but I also bought Slow Regard of Silent Things, which is the little novella. I don't have it because it's in my TBR pile for this month because I'm reading it, but I'm obsessed. I will link that review up above. I love it so much, and I actually ended up buying 2 copies of Wise Man's Fear. You guys, this is like my all-time favorite. This is like one of my all-time favorite books now, though, so I don't feel too bad about it. So first of all, I found this. It was $2. It is the UK paperback edition, which I love. This is stunning, and it's in decent condition. It's a little bit kind of bent up, but it's not bad, so I'm really happy to have that. And then, because, like, you know, why not, I found, because it was so cheap, you guys, it was only $9, so I got the US hardcover edition too. Yay, I'm so happy. Oh my gosh. So I have both of these copies of Wise Man's Fear, and then I have it in the other room, so I'll just put a picture here, but I also have the novella In This World, which is The Slow Regard of Silent Things. I bought that one as well, and I am buddy reading it this month with Liene from Liene's Library. Then I have a book that I am planning to be reading next month with Katrina from the fabulous book Fiend. I will link her channel down below. This is Shopaholic Ties the Knot. So next month we're going to start reading this series. It's a reread for her. It's a first time for me by Sophie Kinsella. I haven't read any of these, and I have Shopaholic, and then I found this one for $1. I still need Shopaholic Takes Manhattan. I think that's the middle one. This is book 3, but yeah, we're going to be reading those. And then adding this to my collection of Robin Hobb books that I need to get around to reading at some point, for 50 cents I found Golden Fool. This is book 2 in the Tawny Man series. I have book 1. It was 50 cents. I like the 2 books of hers I read, and one day I want to read her books because they're really good fantasy novels. Yep, almost all the rest of this is from the Strand. Most of this is from the Strand because, you know, it's definitely my downfall. But one of these is not, so let me show this to you. This one is actually from Barnes & Noble. It was on clearance for like $1.80, so it's Princess Ever After by Rachel Hawke, the Royal Wedding series. I'm sure this is really silly, but it just sounded like fun. It's like a romance novel about a small town girl who finds out she's actually a princess or something like that. I mean, I just like that stuff. Sometimes you need something silly and light, and this was fun, and it was super inexpensive, so I got that. Oh, no, and then this also, I actually got this because I went to a signing and I had to buy something worth $10 in the bookstore, and so I thought, well, why not pick this up since I do want to see the movie. I have a copy of Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. This is the movie edition, which I actually like. It's kind of nice. So I'm hoping to read that sometime soon and see the movie. Although I don't see a lot of movies in theaters because they're really expensive in New York, so I may wait till it's out on Redbox. I have a little bit of time, but I do want to read the book. And then, you know, this year I'm trying to get into more thrillers, so I found this for $2. It's a pretty much brand new hardback copy of The Couple Next Door by Sherry LaPena. This is a domestic thriller, which I am a fan of. I've heard good things about it, so give that a try. And then, you guys, this was in perfect condition. $2. Nixia by Scott Rankin, I don't know how you say that, but I've heard good things about it. It is a YA science fiction novel, and I think it's a debut, and I know book 2 is coming out. I do want to give this a try, so, I mean, it's this, like, beautiful copy. $2. And also, $1 each. I thought I would finish off the rest of the original part of the series. I found The Elite and The One by Kira Cass. I have the selection, I read it, I liked it, it's like candy, and so when I saw these for $1 each, I thought, why not finish up that original trilogy? And then also for $1, I found a copy of a book that I keep hearing about, and you know, I wasn't gonna read them because there are so many of them, but there's a booktuber who loves these, and she says they're sort of like a YA Game of Thrones, and that kind of sold me. So I picked up book 1 of Falling Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes, and again, I found this for $1, so you know, it's not too much of an investment if I don't like it, but yeah. YA Game of Thrones, I could get behind that. Another thing I found for $2 at the Strand is finishing up all of the books in a trilogy that I have not read, but mean to. It's Days of Blood and Starlight by Liene Taylor. This is the sequel to Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I figured, especially because I did just read Strange the Dreamer and loved it in February, I do plan on getting to the series soon, and so I wanted to have all of them. I have an ARC copy of book 1, so if I really like them, I may need to get something different. It's funny, I have an ARC of book 1, I have a hardback of book 2, and I have a paperback of book 3, so my series is all over the place, but hey, I have them all and I'm excited to read them. Then the other day I was over at the Strand and I found this book for $1. It is actually the UK paperback edition of Sword of Destiny by Andrzej Sapkowski. This is another book in that like Witcher series. I read the first one. This is another collection of short stories, but I read the first one, which was like Last Wish. I read it and I liked it, but when I saw this for $1, and you guys, I actually really like the UK paperbacks. I think they're way prettier than the American editions. I don't know why, I just don't really like the red. I prefer this. So I picked that up. I'm gonna give that one a try. And then this book I read, I think years and years ago. I would like to reread it, but also this copy was just beautiful. It's Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Look how stunning. It was $1. And like, oh my gosh, I just think this is so pretty. It's gonna be so good in Instagram photos, and I do want to give it a reread. I know people have been talking about it a lot. I think I was like a teenager when I read it for the first time, and so it seems likely that I would have a different response now, so I do want to pick that up at some point. And then the last book that I have to share with you today, yes, I know, we finally made it to the end, a like-new used copy of for $9. This was one of my anticipated reads for the year. It is Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston. So I'm really excited to have this. You guys, this is like Anastasia in space, which sounds really cool, but also I just really like Ashley Poston. She wrote Geekerella, and I just love her voice. I think she's really funny. I like her writing style, so I am excited to have this one. So there you have it. Those are all of the books that I purchased in February and early March that I have to share with you. I should probably just stop saying that my book hauls are going to get smaller, because that does not seem to be the case. But I'm hopeful. I am reading a lot, which helps, but it's still a lot of books. So there you go. Talk to me in the comments down below. Let me know if you guys have read any of these, what you recommend, what places you think I should start. I will say some of these I probably won't keep. Like People Like Us, I loved it. I doubt I will reread it, so I will probably be selling that one. And some of these books are books that I've already read that I just really wanted to have in my collection. So anyway, talk to me in the comments down below. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.